Swadika, good morning and thank you for joining us on Newsline for Friday, December the 20th of 2013. I'm Tra Tirakausan. In today's top stories, the Election Commission suggested that the government and the People's Democratic Reform Committee, or PDRC, engage in dialogue to bring about an end to the political turmoil. And in our business news segment, Thailand is expected to produce around 300,000 tons of shrimp next year. And taking a look now at today's headlines, Prime Minister Yingluck has instructed provincial governors nationwide to ensure adequate care for local residents this winter, while reminding them to have preventative measures ready for drought conditions. While on a visit to the northeastern province of Roi-Et, Ms. Yingluck held a meeting with all provincial governors to follow up the conditions of natural disasters, especially cold spells and droughts, as well as the management of water resources and the preparation of road safety measures for the upcoming New Year holidays. The governors of all 20 northeastern provinces were present at the meeting, while the other 56 governors participated via teleconference. The Prime Minister urged all the governors to survey people's needs in disaster-stricken areas in order to provide them with adequate assistance. She suggested the governors act as coordinators between disaster prevention agencies, relevant ministries, and local communities in tackling natural disasters and taking care of residents. Ms. Yingluck noted that a single command center should be set up for winter disasters similar to the one for the floods, in a bid to integrate all relief efforts. As for the drought, she said although the issue had not become much of a concern, related authorities should compile data from the past few years and formulate preventative measures ahead of time. The Prime Minister has expressed hopes that Thailand will soon be able to find solutions to the current political turmoil, while urging people who are joining the December 22nd rally to strictly adhere to the law and respect the rights of others. Prime Minister and Defense Minister Yingluck has called for the anti-government demonstrators to seek political solutions through talks or reform forums, while asserting that the government will do whatever it takes to move this nation forward, assuring that all the government's activities will be conducted in line with the Constitution and in democratic means. She has also indicated that she is willing to discuss face-to-face with protest leader Suthep Suban to thrash out their differences about the ongoing political rift. As for the protesters' planned mass rally on December 22nd, the Prime Minister said people have their right to express themselves as long as their actions are in accordance with the law and the Constitution, and that all activities must be conducted in a peaceful manner. The Election Commission is suggesting the government and the People's Democratic Reform Committee, or PDRC, engage in dialogue to bring about an end to the political turmoil so that the two sides can agree on an appropriate date for the election, saying that the election date can be rescheduled. According to the EC, the current differences of opinions of various parties could make it difficult for an election to take place and could also result in chaotic situations after the election. The EC was calling on the administration and the PDRC to find compromises and come up with an appropriate election date in order to prevent any rejections of the election results. The EC indicates the scheduled date of February 2nd of 2014 should not be used to limit the available solutions to the current turmoil. It said there are legal openings that allow for the date to be rescheduled if the government deemed that the date was inappropriate. However, the EC indicated it was ready to hold a general election on February 2nd if the government decides to stick with the date. In response, Prime Minister Yingluck has confirmed that the power to assign a new date for the poll does not rest with the government. She said she was open to any suggestions that would have to consult the legal team as well as academics first. Election Commissioner Somchai Sutiyayakon has expressed readiness for the registration of party list MP candidates, which will take place December 23rd until the 27th at Gilawe 2 building of the Thai Japanese Youth Center in Dindang area. Applications will be accepted from 8:30 a.m. until 4:30 p.m., and Mr. Somchai said tight security would be provided by the police, while urging candidates to make sure they brought all the required documents with them. Political parties are gearing up for the general election, although it remains uncertain if the Democrat Party will field its candidacy. The Cha Thai Pathana Party announced it was filling a full list of 125 party list candidates, but was fielding only about 100 candidates for constituency-based MP seats. The party also revealed former Prime Minister Banhan Silapa Acha's name as the top spot on the party list names. The National Development Party also announced it was filling the entire list of 125 candidates for party list MPs, whereas it will not field candidates for certain constituency seats. The party, which will focus on garnering votes in the northeastern region, will hold a General Assembly on December 25th to select a new set of party executives. The Democrat Party indicates it will decide on Saturday whether to field candidates in the upcoming election, although party representatives for Surat Thani province has already announced they would not partake in the election until the country reform was completed. The Department of Special Investigation has launched their operation to freeze bank accounts of 18 anti-government leaders by notifying banks across the country. DSI Chief Tharit Pengdit said documents notifying banks of a freeze order have been forwarded. 30 banks, which include Krung Thai Bank, Kasikorn Bank, and Bangkok Bank, have so far been contacted. The DSI head, however, admits that the account freeze would unlikely end the street protests in Bangkok, but expressed his belief that it would make the public aware that unconstitutional acts do have consequences. A total of 18 People's Democratic Reform Committee leaders, including Suthep Thaugsuban and Thaworn Senium, have been named in the case investigated by the DSI. They've also been summoned to acknowledge sedition charges indictment approved by the court on December 26 and December 27th. The DSI has also made known that up to 30 more protest leaders will likely be charged with instigating violence and unrest during their occupation of key government offices. The New York Times, a world-renowned American newspaper, has released an analysis of the Thai political situation, claiming that anti-government protesters are pushing for less democracy. Thomas Fuller, a New York Times journalist who has been covering the anti-government demonstrations in Thailand, recently published his report entitled, "In Thailand, Standing Up for Less Democracy." He pointed out that although Thailand was one of the first countries in Asia to adopt the democratic system, the latest movement was geared against democratic principles. The reporter elaborated that protest leader Suthep Thaugsuban had called for the establishment of a People's Council and expressed rejection of the new election after the Yingluck Shinawatra administration agreed to dissolve parliament and return the power to the people. The analysis concluded that the protests led by Mr. Suthep were an obstruction to the democratic system and that their motive was contradictory to Thailand's image as open, modernized country. Supreme Commander General Thanasak Patimaprakorn stated that the situation in the South is easing towards peace, while refraining from giving an interview regarding the February 2nd general election. General Thanasak is on an inspection trip to Narathiwat in order to receive recent updates about the unrest and rifts plaguing the South. The Supreme Commander stated that there had not been any orders to carry out special missions, but that he was in Narathiwat to receive updates of the current situation from Army Region 4 Commander Lieutenant General Sakon Chuntrakul. Although violence continues, the situation is easing towards peace in the region. The Supreme Commander said he has also called on members of the public to send moral support to soldiers in the field. In regards to the February 2nd general election, the general has declined to give any comments. The Department of Land Transport, or DLT, is planning to organize a seminar on public transportation potential development in its bid to prepare the sector for the formation of the ASEAN Economic Community, or AEC, in 2015. According to DLT, the nation's public transportation operators will have to adapt themselves to changes during the nation's AEC transition period. The DLT will emphasize the importance of understanding road regulations and safety measures for the public transportation, as well as learning the road safety culture of the ASEAN member countries. Thus, the ministry has decided to hold a seminar on the issue. The seminar is aimed at employing the knowledge from the Ministry of Transport's recent field trips to 6 of the ASEAN countries to the local public transportation sector. The 6 ASEAN nations were Laos, People's Democratic Republic, Vietnam, the Philippines, Indonesia, Singapore, and Malaysia. And that's it for our first segment. We take a short break right now. Coming up next, Thailand's Industrial Confidence Index fell 2.5 points in November. Sit tight, and Newsline will return after these messages.
Open the world of information. Embrace public participation. Present Thailand to the world. New dimension of the government's public relations. The 80th anniversary of the Public Relations Department. Creative media for the society. Mobilizing Thailand towards the ASEAN community.
เมื่อมนุษย์ทำลายสมดุลทางธรรมชาติแล้วมนุษย์ก็เป็นผู้ประสบภัยพิบัติจากธรรมชาติร่วมสร้างอนาคตลดภัยพิบัติระดมพลังพลิกฟื้นคืนผืนป่าในทุกชุมชนทั่วประเทศ
For those who have Android smartphones, you can download a PRD News application by searching for PRD News English in Play Store. That way, you can stay up to date with the latest happenings in Thailand.
The Thai Shrimp Association forecasts that Thailand will produce around 300,000 tons of shrimp next year, adding that cases of EMS shrimp disease are expected to decline. The Thai Shrimp Association revealed that shrimp production this year had seen a drop of 11% globally due to the outbreak of EMS shrimp disease. The disease, according to Thai Shrimp Association President Somsak Panithathiasai, has caused Thailand to produce only 250,000 tons of shrimp this year, a tremendous drop of 54% compared to the figure in the previous year, which stood at 540,000 tons. He believes the situation would improve next year after serious measures were taken against the disease. He forecasts that the country's shrimp production would be in the range of 300,000 to 320,000 tons in 2014. Thailand, in the first 10 months of 2013, exported nearly 176,000 tons of shrimp, with an export value of 56 billion baht, representing a 30% decrease year on year. The Labor Union of the Bank for Agriculture and Agricultural Cooperatives, or BAAC, presses the government to find money to pay farmers in the rice support scheme. The bank estimates that the total payment will reach 100 billion baht. President of the BAAC Labor Union, Prasit Pahom, said the bank had partially paid the farmers so they had money for a new harvest, and urged the government to quickly search for funds to pay them back. Around 5 million tons of rice worth 100 billion baht were needed to be paid off, but the bank had only 12 billion baht to finance the program until December this year. Mr. Prasit said there were other farmers who had not yet received any money after they were first contacted the bank to pay them 3 months ago. The Federation of Thai Industries, or FTI, reported that Thailand's Industrial Confidence Index for November of 2013 fell to 90.3 from 92.8 reported in October. It is an all-time low during a 24-month period. FDI Chairman Payungsak Chatsuthipon reported that Thailand's Industrial Confidence Index dropped from 92.8 in October to 90.3 in November of this year due to the ongoing political turmoil. In addition, he pointed out that the decrease in the confidence index was attributed to the weakening purchasing power of business owners, which resulted in a decrease in sales in the industrial sector. The FDI chairman also suggested government lower its interest rates to promote more cash flow and loans for SMEs, as well as urge more stringent measures in dealing with corruption and a solution to the current political conflict. The University of the Thai Chamber of Commerce does not believe the U.S.'s relaxing of quantitative easing will have a negative impact on the Thai economy. According to Thanawat Ponwichai, director of the UTCC Center for Economic and Business Forecasting, the reason why the U.S. Federal Reserve has tapered its QE measures is the drop in its unemployment rate and the other economic factors that have seen improvement. In addition to the U.S.'s promising economic trend, the United States Congress has recently approved the latest proposed budget, which helps the U.S. avoid another government shutdown. As a result, the U.S. Federal Reserve has decided to relax its quantitative easing for the upcoming month of January, adjusting it down to $10 billion U.S. The director also expressed his belief that such a move would not pose a threat to Thailand, as the country's economy has already been clouded by political turmoil. As for the depreciation of the Thai baht, he said the weakening Thai currency would boost the country's export industry. Southeast Asian markets were firmer on Thursday after the U.S. Federal Reserve's decision to taper its bond buying program, but Thai shares fell on lingering political concerns. The U.S. Central Bank on Wednesday said it would reduce its monthly asset purchase by $10 billion to $75 billion U.S., while indicating its key interest rate would stay at rock bottom even longer than previously promised. The Jakarta Composite Index was up 1.1%, trading at a one-week high, led by financials, while the Philippine Index rose 0.2%, led by a 2% gain in property firm SM Investment Corporation. Stock indices in Malaysia and Singapore were steady, while Vietnam's VN Index traded 0.3% higher on gains in blue-chip shares. However, the Thai Set Index bucked the trend and was trading 0.2% weaker on political concerns, a day after anti-government demonstrators said they would step up protests in an attempt to force Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra from office and push through electoral reforms before a general election is held. And before we take a short break, let's have a look at the commodity prices and exchange rates.
Open the world of information. Embrace public participation. Present Thainess to the world. New dimension of the government's public relations. The 80th anniversary of the Public Relations Department. Creative media for the society. Mobilizing Thailand towards the ASEAN community.
เมื่อมนุษย์ทำลายสมดุลทางธรรมชาติแล้วมนุษย์ก็เป็นผู้ประสบภัยพิบัติจากธรรมชาติร่วมสร้างอนาคตลดภัยพิบัติระดมพลังพลิกฟื้นคืนผืนป่าในทุกชุมชนทั่วประเทศ
For those who have Android smartphones, you can download a PRD News application by searching for PRD News English in Play Store. That way, you can stay up to date with the latest happenings in Thailand.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. The Public Health Ministry is warning Thais nationwide against 6 winter diseases while urging people living in low-temperature areas to keep themselves warm at all times. Dr. Narong Saha Metaput, Permanent Secretary to Public Health Ministry, has revealed that people have a greater chance of catching a disease in the cold weather. According to him, there are 6 diseases people usually come down with during this time of the year, including influenza, pneumonia, diarrhea, measles, rubella, and chickenpox. He has ordered all public health offices across Thailand to raise awareness of the 6 diseases and assist those in need, especially the elderly, children, and people with chronic illnesses, as this group of people is likely to have severe symptoms when catching a disease. The Permanent Secretary also urged people residing in low-temperature areas to keep themselves warm by wearing winter clothes, doing exercises regularly, getting adequate rest, and eating right. Next week will mark the start of the 24 digital TV channel auction, which will take place at the Cat Telecom building in Bang Rak district. Cat Telecom has also provided an opportunity for the press to visit and test the auctioning process out. The National Broadcasting and Telecommunication Commission, or NBTC, allowed the press to visit and observe the planned auction site and the trial auctioning process of the 24 digital channels at the Cat Telecom building. The demonstration began with the trial registration process, followed by the random selection of the auctioning rooms and the issuance of usernames and passwords for the actual auction. The date of the auction is set for December 26 until the 27th of 2013. NBTC also allowed the press to take part in a mock auction for 16 of the standard definition, or SD, channels. As a result, a bid of 4.62 billion baht won the test run, with a total of 848 bids entered into the system. The total bids able to be received by the system, however, is actually twice the stated amount. The NBTC is confident that the actual auction would run smoothly and affirmed that the process would be corruption-free. The Department of Land Transport has announced free car checkups from now until December 30th of 2013 in a bid to promote road safety and prevent accidents. Deputy Transport Minister Pong Jiawanan said the ministry has joined hands with more than 2,000 private institutions, including vocational colleges, to provide vehicle inspections for holidaymakers during the festive season. The campaign is to promote road safety and prevent traffic accidents due to poorly maintained vehicles. Director General of the Department of Land Transport, Asathai Ratanadilok Phuket, also stated that in addition to the free car checkups, the department is holding a mini motor show as well as providing services to install LPG and CNG fuel systems. Motorists need only to look for signs "Believe, Be Live" at the 250 designated spots on major and minor roads nationwide. For more information, please call the hotline at 1584. Once again, the hotline is 1584. And that's it for today's edition of Newsline. For any comments or suggestions, please feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. We're going to say goodbye now with the footage of the beautiful winter flowers at the first International Flora Festival in Khon Kaen Province. I'm Kla Thirakalsan. Have a wonderful weekend. Swadee ka.